I'm interested, and I think everybody is interested in the three laws of robotics. Could you explain those?
Well, back in 1939, I began writing robot stories. And by the time I'd written 2 and 3, there was a pattern in these stories which John Campbell, the editor of Astounding Science Fiction and my literary father, pointed out to me. He said I was having my robots behave as though they were guided by 3 laws. The first law was that a robot couldn't hurt a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. The second law was that a robot had to obey orders given it by human beings, provided that didn't conflict with the first law. And the third law was that a robot had to protect its own existence, except where that would conflict with the first 2 laws.
When it came down to the moment of truth, we had no idea what was about to happen.
It didn't just activate.
She was born.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's AJ. Wanted to give a short preference. I have a very long relationship with Overwatch, and I haven't played it for a while, but I'm still invested in the story. I'll leave it at that. If you have more questions, I'll definitely answer them in the comments. But I wanted to talk about this whole story where they talk about the origins of Overwatch with Aurora. Now, as you saw with the Isaac Asimov interview, which is probably in between the 30s and the 50s, I can't remember, but he talks about the 3 laws of robotics and how the basis of his stories is how these 3 laws of roboticism turn into 3 laws of humanism, because eventually the robots see themselves as humanistic, at least the same in some sense. So it ends up where their 3rd law of robotics intertwined with the 1st law of robotics. And you see it more so with Bicentennial Man and iRobot, where humans are considered the greatest threat to humanity. So in order to protect humans, they have to override all 3 of the rules, which ends up in calamity and what Isaac Asimov calls the Frankenstein syndrome when it comes to robotics. And I find it really interesting that Asimov himself, most of his stories predicate on the idea that these 3 laws of robotics that he established are what get broken and drive the narrative. And that's really strong here. But on top of that, they have Aurora, who's this messianic figure of the true potential or true realization of robots into humans. And I think that it makes for an interesting sub-dialogue of what do humans do when they are put in the shoes of robots, because that's kind of where the story goes. And who knows, maybe I'll start playing again. But let me know what you guys think. I dearly love this franchise, and I'm not gonna lie, even watching a gameplay that we're never going to get gets me hyped up again. So, as always, thank you guys for liking, subscribing, continue to do so. It really helps me out. I'll see you on the next one.
You have this one life. Choose well.
You have this one life.
Choose well.
Choose well.